devotees, because we don't mind anyone's body. This is non-sectarian. But Lord Chaitanya said, those who are Bharata Bhumite, Hoila Manusya Janmasa, those who have the human form of life, born in Bharatvarsa. You can take it, Bharatvarsa could mean India, could mean the whole world, but anyway, that's a good point. Madhavatiti, this is Kadashi, so it's we can meditate on this. How will we spread this movement here in Australia? So all the Australians of all different shapes and sizes, even, Ethiopians and Chinese and Africans. There's so many immigrants here. But where are they here? Where are they all? I don't see any Chinese people here. I don't see any indigenous tribes. I don't see any Africans. What's going on here? This is in-house Indian movement. So this is something to think about on this Ekadashi. Our responsibility to become purified and preach to others. And then the next line, Krishna Basati Boli Parama Adare Bori. Let the holy places of Krishna's pastimes be my places of worship and bless me. So of course, ISKCON Melbourne is a place of Krishna's pastimes. And I've seen many temples in Grihasthas' homes. But we could have many temples here in Melbourne. Just look at Delhi. Delhi, they have about 10 big Radha Krishna temples. Why don't we have more in Melbourne? So that people can go to the places of Krishna's pastimes. Of course, we could also go to India and to Mayapur and Vrindavan. But Krishna's here. He's in deity form. He's having pastimes. Especially Lord Chaitanya is having Sankirtan pastimes, Jagannath Rath Yatra pastimes next week. So this is a holy place. We don't have to think, oh, we'll have to go to India and spend all that money. And we should make Melbourne a place of Krishna's pastimes. Okay, next line. Gora Amara Yestabasane Korola Brahmana Range. 3. May I always visit all the holy places associated with the Leela of Lord Chaitanya and his devotees in the association of devotees. 4. We're doing that on the Goramandala Parikrama and the Navadvip and the Vrindavan Parikrama. Who's been on the Navadvip Mandal Parikrama? Who's been on the Rajmandal Parikrama? Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Se Sabastana Haribo Ami Pranaye Bhakata Sange. Mridanga Vajya Shrunite Mana Abasara Sarayache. When I hear the sound of the mridanga in my heart, I always desire to join in kirtan. And when I hear the bona fide songs describing Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, my heart dances in ecstasy. Yugala 5. Yugala Murti Deki Amora Parama Ananda Hoya. 5. Whenever I see the transcendental Sri Vigrahas or deities of Radha Krishna, I am in bliss. For by taking their lordship's prasadam, we can conquer over the material elements. Prasada seva karite hoya sakala prapancha joya. How many of us joined Hare Krishna first by taking prasadam? Anyone? Anyone like prasadam here? Yeah, everybody. Yeah. I got my first prasadam in London. And I didn't want anyone to preach to me. It was a very cold January day in 1970. And I thought I was an incarnation of Lord Buddha. I was seeing everything equally, you know. It's like voidist, impersonalist. But then I did hear that, because I was thinking I was God, but God was very hungry. So I remembered, wow, the Hare Krishnas give free food. So I located the Hare Krishna place near the British Museum, Bury Place. And it was very quiet. I pushed open the door, and there was a smell of spices and incense. And it was dead quiet. I'd never been there before. I was wondering what was going to happen. Then this Mataji put up her head from the basement. There were some stairs going down to the basement. It was Malati. You know Malati, one of the first devotees who were in ISKCON? And she took one look at me because I looked very strange. A typical hippie, you know. I had this white surgeon's jacket on with short sleeves, but there was all these felt-tip pens, signs on it like Star of David, Om sign, cross, you know, all kinds of crazy things written on the surgeon's jacket. So she took one look at me and she said, "You want to eat? You want something to eat?" She said, "You want something to eat?" I said, "Yes, yes." She said, "Come downstairs." So I went downstairs. I didn't want anyone to preach to me, and I think she understood that. Went down the stairs. She said, "Sit here." There's a completely bare room, you know, with just linoleum on the floor. So she said, "Sit here." And I felt at home there because, you know, in the hippie days we like to reject all this furniture and eating with knives and forks. So it was a nice bare room. I sat on the floor. And there was this big picture on the wall. And I didn't know it was Lord Chaitanya. But he was standing like this, his hands in the air, his long black hair. And I thought, wow, he's on a trip. He's tripping. He's taking some psychedelic drugs. This is quite a nice place. So then she brought this big, she said, actually everyone's gone out on Harinam. Everyone's gone on Harinam. And we've only got dal left. Do you want dal? Everyone's taken their lunch, and we've only got dal. So I was ready for anything. So I said, yeah, bring. I said, bring. And she said, yeah. So she brought this big stainless steel bowl of green mung dal. It was very boiling hot. And there was like cumin seeds and chilies, and the steam just made my eyes water. So it was amazing. And I just finished that green mung dal and then floated out onto the street. I didn't feel any cold after that. That was my first prasadam. Krishna prasadam king! So everyone has different stories of their first prasadam. But that was my story. Okay? Where are we now? 5, yeah. Prasada seva. 6. Yedina grihe bhajanad deki grihe te goloka payam. 6. One day, Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, while performing devotional practices, I saw my house transformed into Goloka Vrindavan. So we've been taking lunch at many, accepting many invitations for lunch, and I see in everyone's home there's nice altars, Jagannath, Gonitai, and Radha Krishna, so many beautiful deities. So I just imagine that at your home, sometimes you think, oh, my home is just like Goloka Vrindavan, because we're worshipping Radha and Krishna. We're getting up and we're doing the artis and so on. So this is Bhaktivinoda's example. Wonderful example. Charana Sidhu Dekiya Ganga Sukasasima Paya. When I take the Charanamrita of the deity, I see the holy Ganges water that come from the feet of Lord Vishnu, and my bliss knows no bounds. Actually, we're worshipping Vraha tomorrow. And of course there's Trivikram. He knocked a hole in the shell of the universe, and the Ganga came down from the lotus feet of the Lord. So when we take Charanamrita in the morning, it's actually the same as Ganga Jal, because it's washed the lotus feet of the Lord. So we can see like that. Tulasi deki juraya prana madhava toshani chani. 7. By seeing the Tulsi tree, my heart feels joy. And Lord Madhava, Krishna, is also satisfied. Yeah, Tulsi is the devotee who is always on the lotus feet of the Lord in the form of her Tulsi leaves. So we can pray to Tulsi. She says that whoever takes shelter of me has his wishes fulfilled. So if you want to pray to anyone, Tulsi is inviting you. Take shelter of me and your wishes will be fulfilled. So of course devotees like to have spiritual wishes. Wish I could be a pure devotee. I wish I could marry a devotee. There's so many spiritual wishes we could have. And when I eat the prasadam favored by Lord Chaitanya, it is a new life's experience. Lord Chaitanya was very fond of a green vegetable preparation called shak. And there's another song in this book that tells of the amazing effects of this type of prasadam. Yeah. Okay. So everyone likes prasadam, and especially shak. There's supposed to be 26 varieties of shak, spinach. One for every quality of a devotee. Yeah. Okay, next. Bhakti Vinod. Bhakti Vinod Krishna Bhajani Anukula Payaya. Bhakti Vinod concludes by saying, whoever attains the stage of enthusiasm for these devotional practices will be supremely blissful wherever he may be. So this is called Vaidhi Bhakti and Sadhana Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is divided into two. One is Vaidhi Bhakti by the order of Guru. We do because we're supposed to. The Guru said we must chant 16 rounds. I have no attraction for them, but still I'm going to do them. Prabhupada said, this is called numerical strength. People think, the devotees are just mechanically chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. But that's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Because numerical strength will be there. Later on, it can be enthusiasm, and then that becomes sadhana bhakti in spontaneous. Raga bhakti becomes spontaneous practice. Just like any practice. Like you practice cricket. You have to keep practicing cricket. And one day, you'll be captain of the Australian cricket team. Who wants to be captain of the Australian cricket team? Or captain of football? I've seen the kids bouncing the ball here, and you have to practice. So we also have to practice chanting. We're not going to get perfect chanting just if we're lackadaisical. Sometimes we don't finish our rounds, sometimes we do. Sometimes it takes half an hour just to do one round. Dive bomb japa. In the middle of the round, you space out. So no, you have to be serious. Prabhupada says, chanting is very simple, but we must practice seriously. The words Hare Krishna must be very carefully pronounced and heard with the help of the upper lip and upper mouth and the tongue. So this is Sadhana Bhakti. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he loved all these activities and he's very enthusiastic. So this is our way forward. Okay, let's sing the song now. Can someone hold a piece of paper in case I forget? You have to hold it about here, right? 1, 2 beat. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula Bhakata Seva Paramasiri Premalatika Rumula Bhakata Se Paramateni Premalatika Madhavatiti Bhakati Janani Yatane Palana Kore Krishna Basati Basati Bole Krishna Basati Don't sleep! Parama Adare Bole Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gora Amara Yestabastane Karala Brahmana Range Yestabastana Haribo Amen. Pranaya Bhakata Sanghe Vadanga Vaja Sunite Mana Abhasara Sada Jate Gora Bihita Kitina Suni Anandere Doyarache Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yugalamoti Jaki Amora Parama Ananda Koya Yugalamoti Jaki Amora Parama Ananda Prasada seva karite hoya Sakala papancha jaya Dedina grihe bhajana deki Grihe tengo loka baya Charana siddhu jakiya ganga Sukha sasima paya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tulsi deki juraya prana Madhava toshani janani Gora priya saksavane Jivana sakta kamane Bhakti Vinod Krishna Bhajane Anukula Paya Ya Pratideva se Paramasukhe Svikara Karayeta Svikare Karayeta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Shri Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki, Gopemanandi. How are we up for time? Just a quick one time, Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Balava, Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Manachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Vivada Yashodanandana Vajradana Randana Randana Yashodanandana Vajradana Randana Yamuna Chera Vanachari Yamuna Chera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Swami Vishnu Paramahansa Prabhupada toast at the ceasements divine grace of Vaishnava Vrinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai From Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasti Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhana ki Mathura Vrindavan Dhama ki Navadvip Mayapur Dhama ki Jagannath Puri Dhama ki ISKCON Melbourne Dham ki Jamuna Maya Ganga Maya ki Srimati Tulsi Devi ki Bhakti Devi ki Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki Sankirtan Yagya ki Transcendental Book Distribution ki Transcendental Prasadam Distribution ki Gaur Premanandi all glories to assembly devotees, all glories to assembly devotees, all glories to assembly devotees, glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guranga, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it's text 14? Okay. No Sheke So Vitun Tatra Puram Kritshoru Vepatu Gantam Aichat Tato Vriksham Kotarad Ivam Sanalad Na sheke sovitum tatra Purakritshana Vepatu Purukrishora Vepatu Gantam Maicha Tato Vriksham Kotarad Iva Shanalan Nasheke Savitam Tatra Pura Krichrura Vepatuhum Gantamai Chat Tato Vriksham Kotarad Eva Shanalat Nasheke Savitam Tatra Purukrishora Vepatu Gantamesha Tato Vriksha Kotaradi Vasanala Naseke Sovitum Tatra Naseke Sovitum Tatra Choru Vepatu Gantamesha Tato Vriksha Mataji, please, ladies. Nasheka sovitam tatra. Okay, nam, not, shaking, was able, saham, him, avitam, to protect, tatra, there, puru, very much, krishna, difficulty, uru, great, vepatu, suffering, gantam, to go out, aichat, desired, tataham, from there, vriksha, of a tree, kotarat, from the hollow, eva, like, sa analad, on fire. Translation. As a serpent living within the cavity of a tree wishes to leave when there is a forest fire, so the city's police superintendent, the snake, wished to leave the city due to the fire's severe heat. Please repeat. As a serpent living within the cavity of a tree wishes to leave when there is a forest fire, so the city's police superintendent, the snake, wished to leave the city due to the fire's severe heat. Purport. It becomes very difficult for snakes to have a forest, to leave a forest when there is a fire. Other animals may flee due to their long legs, but serpents, only being able to crawl, are generally burnt in the fire. At the last stage, the limbs of the body are not as much affected as the life air. Yeah, in Nectar Devotional, so Prabhupada mentions that devotional service is like a fire which burns up all the snakes of sinful reactions, activities, which we've accumulated for many lifetimes. We're born in this particular body because of our sinful activities. This material body means we're sinful. This is a prison house. We're in the prison house of Durga Devi. And she's got this trishul, she's got all kinds of weapons. You've seen that picture of Durga Devi? Yeah. She's on a lion or a tiger and she's sticking that demon. That demon is us. You ever thought about that? It's us. We're getting pronged by adhyatmic, adibhotic, and adidaivika miseries. So this is not normal for the soul. This is a miserable condition because of our accumulated karma for many, many lifetimes. So the devotional service is like a fire. And snakes of all these sinful things, they cannot escape. Whereas prayaschita, you know prayaschita? This is called atonement. Just like in some churches or or other religions, you confess your faults. Oh, I did this, I did that. I shouldn't have done it. I'm really sorry. And so the priest says, okay, you have to say so many Ave Marias, or you have to put so much money in the box and be a good boy next week. But unfortunately, next week comes along, and then you do the same thing again. This is called Hati Snan, the elephant's bath. Anyone seen an elephant taking bath? I was in Sri Rangam one time. We were taking bath in the Kaveri River. There was an elephant was taking, the temple elephant was taking bath then also. But then as soon as he got to the shore, picked up the dust and sprinkled it all over his skin. So this is the same thing that we do. Because our heart is not purified by these other processes. You do some, just like the same, Prabhupada gives another example, because we all know this example, sticks in our mind. If we're very sexually active, then we may catch some bad disease, venereal disease. So we have to go to the doctor and, to try and cure it. But then again, same problem comes back. So this is an example. There's another example Prabhupada gives, nice one. There was a pilgrimage to Vrindavan or somewhere, and there was a thief. He joined a pilgrimage to go to Vrindavan, but he actually a thief. And he was doing the good things in life. He was going on the pilgrimage, but everyone was sleeping in the Dharamshala. They had all the, everyone lies on the mat. In India, it's very simple. But he woke up and he was going around everyone's backs, looking in everyone's backs, and make sure that nobody was watching him. And he was going, taking a walk, and then he thought, oh no, I'm going on pilgrimage. I'm a thief, but I can't do thieving with these people, So he would leave one bag, then, no, let me try another bag. He'd go on all night like that. So when the people woke up in the morning, hey, what happened to my bag? It's all upside down. What's going on? So he felt really bad. He said, oh, I'm really sorry. By profession, I'm a thief. And I couldn't stop it, So this is our condition, We have so many accumulated bad habits from many, many lifetimes. And in this lifetime also. So, how to get rid of all this, how do you say, habitual? Prabhupada said, habit is second nature. Second nature. So the only hope is this devotional service. And because this cleanses our heart. Not just some ritualistic ceremony. Oh, I did bad, so I did so much tricking on the black market. I ripped people off. Okay, so I'll give a good donation to the temple. Of course, it's better than nothing. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, you shouldn't give. But the real atonement is to become pure in heart, to become a devotee of Krishna. Because then we won't want to do anything. Automatically, if we become devotees, we follow all the rules and regulations. Because we have a higher taste. Vishaya vinivatante niraharasya dehino rasovacham risovshasya param drisvanivat. We can't stop these habits just by repression, by force. So they keep coming back. But we have to find something better. So that's Hare Krishna. And that's how Prabhupada started the movement. In the movement, in the beginning, he didn't tell anyone the rules and regulations. He didn't. He just said, chant Hare Krishna. Gradually introduced more and more regulations. Gradually he said, now you must have Guru Puja. Now you must read the slokas. In the beginning we didn't read the slokas in Sanskrit. Later on he introduced. So this is devotional service, and it's good for everyone. So the only trouble is, as I see, is that we have a big standard here, very strict everything, And then new people, how can they accommodate this? So we have to have some place where people can feel at home without feeling like they're getting beaten on the head by the rules and regulations. We have to think how to outreach to people. It's very important. Just like in New Govardhan. Who's been to New Govardhan? And they have this yoga village. They have woofers. Woofers are volunteers looking after the farm, and they're complete outsiders actually. But by association of devotees, taking prasadam, and they're not forced to come to the temple, but they like it. And some devotees are there to make friends with them, preach to them. Then they have a Krishna house if they want to start following the rules. Of course, we don't allow drinking and drugs in the yoga village. And so people know that nowadays, especially young people. They know we should become more sattvic now. This is the effect of Hare Krishna preaching, is that the people know that, no meat eating, no intoxication, that's actually good. So they do come, and then we cultivate them. So how to do that in Melbourne, we have to think. Because you can just imagine it. If some hippie comes in here, they'll think, oh, there's a bunch of Indians. And they're all bowing down and doing all this thing, I don't feel at home here. And I just feel awkward. So we have to, I believe you're trying to start something like that, right? There's some, like I heard on Sunday, many people come, eh? Many outsiders come on Sunday. Locals, the local yokels.
And we have the space, we have what we call urban yoga.
Yeah, urban yoga. Yeah, that's good. Because there's so many communities here in Melbourne. We've seen them. We have to make them all Krishna conscious. It's an international society. So they all have the same problem. We all have birth, old age, disease and death, miserable conditions. But the chanting is the medicine. Cleanse our heart from all the dust accumulated for years together. So, this is a bit, and then one sentence of Prabhupada says, at the last stage, the limbs of the body are not so much affected as the life air. So, yeah, that's... Okay, so any questions, please? We don't have much time. 8:24. We can also ask questions about the song, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's song, and this part of the Bhagavatam. It's funny, actually, this song, it doesn't mention hearing the Bhagavatam. Does it? Does it mention? Shuddha Bhakata Charanarena Bhajana Anukula. Can anyone think of that song? Does it mention the Bhagavatam or does it? What do you think? Give me the song. Huh? When I hear what line of the song is that? When I hear about the devotional practices. Yeah, when performing devotional practices in my home. Yeah, that could be hearing the Bhagavatam about Krishna. Yeah. So any questions, please? Yeah.
Madam, would you like to tell us how you met the Prabhupada? And where you were?
Yes, I'd like to say. It was interesting because I had a friend, he taught me to chant Hare Krishna. That's a long story. So after chanting Hare Krishna, I had heard about Bhagavad Gita. So I went up to London And I tried to get a copy of Bhagavad Gita from the temple. I didn't want to be preached to, but I asked, I knocked on the door, I said, do you have a copy of Bhagavad Gita? He said, we run out. Because it was that blue, it was the blue abridged edition of Bhagavad Gita with Narayan on the front. So they said, but maybe Rancho, he has his own copy and he'll sell it to you. So and they said he's on the top story, so I went all the way up the stairs and I met Rancho. I said, can I buy your Bhagavad Gita? So he looked at me and he must have thought I was a sincere person. He said, all right, I'll sell it to you. Maybe he knew that the other one, they were coming soon. The Bhagavad Gita was on the way from the BBT in America. So he sold it to me for 10 bob. I had 10 bob. It was 10 shillings. That means like 50p now. You know, in England it's like 75 cents, I suppose, Australian. Or $1 Australian. So then I went back to where I happened to be staying, and I read Bhagavad Gita. I read the introduction, and there I met Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Because I thought, here is the first person that I'm reading, the first book I've ever read in my whole life, which I can trust the person who is speaking. I don't know how it happened, but I automatically felt, here is my spiritual master. And then I read some slokas, like Aham Savasya Prabhavo, Mataksavam Pravartate. You know, Krishna says, I am the source of the material and spiritual worlds. And then I understood, here is the father of Lord Jesus. Prabhupada is teaching us who is the father of Lord Jesus, Krishna. Then I could understand Bhagavad Gita very easily by reading the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. And I accepted Prabhupada in my heart. So that's where I always like to answer this question by saying that. Anyone who reads Prabhupada's books, and you know, he's touched by Prabhupada's books, he's meeting Prabhupada in his Vani form. Prabhupada says Vani is more important than Vapu. Vapu is temporary body of Guru. It goes into the Samadhi. So what can you do? You can do your job around the Samadhi. You can't talk to Prabhupada. Not easily. You may be able to in trance, special trance. Prabhupada can speak. If he wants to, he can speak. He's not just a bunch of plastic. He's not. Or else why are we dressing him? If he's just plastic. And why are we offering things to him? But still, even more accessible is his Vani form, his instructions, his words. And it's personal because a book is personal, you know. Everybody reads the words in a different way. Isn't it? The words are not the same for everyone because everyone has different background, a different life, a different culture. How is it that people in Africa or in China or anywhere, they're meeting Prabhupada in his books and they're surrendering, they're starting to chant Hare Krishna. Because he can, the pure devotee like Narad Muni can enter the hearts of all. This is his potency. He can enter the hearts of all and we can meet Prabhupada in his instructions. So it's not that only I met Prabhupada. This is what I don't like, you know. Oh, you're a Prabhupada disciple. You're not Prabhupada disciple? Everyone's Prabhupada disciple who takes Prabhupada seriously and follows his instructions and listens to him. But not by Diksha. You can't be Diksha disciple of Prabhupada. That's, you know, I have disciples. But Prabhupada said in Easy Journey to Other Planets that after we become practice in devotional service, we can become gurus ourselves, like a monitor in a class. So this is Prabhupada's class. Else why are we reading Prabhupada's books? Why are we following Prabhupada's instructions? So I'm like a monitor in Prabhupada's class. I'm taking disciples because this is the link with the Sampradaya. But as far as teaching is concerned, I try and give the instructions to Prabhupada. So in that form, the spiritual master is always with us. Prabhupada is always with us, and our Guru Maharaj is always with us. So that's how I met Srila Prabhupada. Honestly, this is what I felt. I'm not just saying this. Actually, when I saw Prabhupada physically, it was like, I couldn't say it was a letdown, but it was in Barry Place in London, 1971, and he was just visiting the temple in August. And they went to the airport to meet Prabhupada. And so they told, Shamasundar said, all you new devotees should wait inside. I don't know why he said that. And we were all inside the corridor, and there was the front door. And we heard the car arrive, and everyone was screaming, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Completely frantic, right? Like Prabhupada has just arrived on the pavement outside. And so I was waiting, because I'd read Prabhupada's books, chanting Hare Krishna. I was thinking, what's he going to be like? What's he going to be like, Because, naturally you doubt, the intelligence is still there. Is he going to be some trickster? Like some Sai Baba, here I come, I'm great, I'm great. So I was waiting to see if he passed my test. I wanted to see if he's a genuine, in his books, I give him my heart to Prabhupada. I'm going to see now, he's Vapu. He's going to come in the door. And there he was, such a small person. A small person. You'd think from his books, it's like powerful. But small, maybe 5'2". I'm 5'6", 5'6" or 7. Maybe he's 5'2". And then I always get this feeling, when he came in the door, he was just like a man coming back from work. And I used to watch my father come in the front door from the side window. And he used to come up the front door. He used to park the car, come up the front door, put the key in the door, and just like habitual. It's like, of course Prabhupada was happy to be coming there, but he'd been going to so many temples. So this was another of his temples, right? So he's just very composed and at home, normal. I thought, wow, he's just so normal. Everyone else is just screaming and jumping. Prabhupada's just normal, very modest and composed. Nothing special, actually. So then he went into the temple room. And then he must have gone to the deities and paid his business. There were so many devotees I couldn't see what happened. But then he sat on the Vyasasana. Then I was thinking, now what's he going to say? Is he going to say something like far out, outlandish, amazing, He's kind of like a new discovery, the latest. And then Prabhupada gave the talk. It's just everything I'd read in the books. It was everything in the same as in the books. Same philosophy, same teachings. And then I knew that he'd passed my test. Because I was testing him. We should all test the spiritual master. What is the spiritual master going to say? Is he going to say something crazy or something new? Or no, the spiritual master is repeating the message of the parampara. So that's how. So really, when I saw Prabhupada physically, it confirmed what I read in the books. That was my experience. So, thank you very much. Any more questions, please? Is that a question there? No. What time's prasadam? 9 o'clock? Fasting? You really?
Yes. Fridays. Fasting for Friday.
So we should talk about Rahadev. I was told we don't talk about Rahadev today, because tomorrow's Raha's parents. Huh? It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll be fasting.
Okay. You mean fasting till midday? Okay. Sorry? Okay. Question, please.
Just in regards to sinning, it always seems obvious certain things like not eating meat, we shouldn't do, and then there seems to be a lot of other sort of forms of sin, like maybe lying or that may sort of seem like it's not as bad maybe, but then I was curious like karmic-wise or as levels of sin, are they all just as bad, like other forms of sin besides, maybe promiscuous sex or drinking alcohol or eating meat, which are obviously not good. Obviously, I mean, in the scriptures it says not to do those things, but then there's so many other forms of sin, like for example lying, that don't seem as bad, but are they just as bad? Or, what are the levels of sin and the reactions that we're going to
Mm.
have from all forms of sin?
Yeah. Like becoming angry at people. Or, punching someone in the face. Tripping someone up. Or, careless driving. Yeah. But Prabhupada basically, he would say that if we follow these four rules and regulations, then we'll improve, come into the mode of goodness, so that we'll be averse to doing anything which is against the devotionals. Because said that, actually there's different versions, but said that intoxication destroys mercy. So that's a quality. Illicit sex destroys cleanliness, and meat eating destroys austerity, because it's a very proud thing to do. Yeah. So the four pillars of religion are there, but they're destroyed by these activities: meat eating, illicit sex, gambling. Gambling destroys truthfulness. So this more or less covers everything. So if you look at it that way, you see that lying is also included. Why should you lie? It's because you're selfish, you're greedy, you're lusty, you want to exploit somebody. So these four pillars of irreligion, they're very scientific actually. It's very scientific. So truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy and austerity. These are the four pillars of religious life, principles of religion. It's described in the Bhagavatam. So some are worse than others, obviously. You know. Just like, and we should also be very accommodating. Prabhupada talks about people who have bad habits, and it's difficult to give up bad habits. So, somebody's addicted to tea or cigarettes. Prabhupada gives the example, that somebody may be a devotee, but he used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. And he meets his old friend. His old friend brings out, you want a fag? You want a cigarette? And he takes it before he knows where he is, smoking a cigarette. So he's a devotee. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak sadur eva samantavya samyag vyavasito hisa. Despite the most abominable action, one is to be considered saintly if he's fully engaged in devotional service. Even if by chance he makes some mistake, to be considered a devotee. So devotional service is so powerful that the unintentional mistakes or something caused by habit can be forgiven. Krishna forgives. Devotees forgive. We are very forgiving. We're accommodating. If somebody's trying hard to be a devotee, then he's given the benefit of the doubt. But of course, Prabhupada warns us. He says you can't take advantage of this and then go on doing sinful activities. But I met one devotee. There's one devotee, I don't know if he's here, but he has a gemstone shop. He has a gemstone shop. And he sells the gemstones. There's a certain gemstone you sell, and you say, well, listen, this gemstone, it counteracts the effects of the radiation in a mobile phone. So I recommend that you should, and it's very popular, this gemstone. So I said, is this true? He said, I don't know. But he says, I'm a businessman. We have to say something. Why are you all clapping? Why are you all clapping?
That's not a businessman, that's a comment.
So he says you have to sell something when you're doing business. You have to say to the customer, for you I'm making no profit. Okay, I'm giving. The Bhagavad Gita says, why is it so popular? For every endeavor there's some kind of fault. The Brahmana, he has to do some karma kanda stuff. And he has to, sometimes he has to even kill an animal, a Brahmin. He has to do some nonsense because that's his occupation, a Brahmin. In Nepal, but even in ISKCON, there's some Brahmanas, they do karma kanda, of karma kanda stuff. It's that, people come, they want to do this, blessings for this and that, and I open my shop, we go and do a karma kanda sacrifice in his shop. So it's not actually, it's to maintain his family, and he has to do something on the side as a Brahmin. Then the Kshatriya, well, he has to do some diplomacy. He has to tell a lie sometimes. For the sake of the country, You can't always tell the truth. It's security, Security of the country is at stake. It's just like this thing with Trump, he's saying, he can't, he blocks those witnesses. The president is blocking the witnesses. They were trying to impeach him. He says, you can't bring those witnesses. Because there's a higher principle, we have to protect the country. We don't know, this is Kshatriya business. You see, he has to tell a lie, to be diplomatic. And then the businessman, yes, he has to tell a lie to stay in business. He even has to hide his profits, do something on the black market, because that's illegal. But so, and then the Shudra, what does the Shudra have to do? What does the Shudra have to do, which is bad? Yeah, have to serve a bad master. Just like soldiers, they're just minions. They just do what they're told. So they have to do what they're told. So they're Shudras. They're not real Kshatriyas. They're just army men. And Prabhupada tells a story how in Europe the Germans were coming down towards Belgium, the German army, and the Allied army was having to defend Belgium and France from the Germans coming down, Second World War. And there were many, many women and children. Many, many women and children. They were homeless, they're just hundreds of them. And they asked the general, the British general, I think, or American general, what to do, what shall we do? The Germans are coming. Said, we have to kill them all. They were all killed by their own people. And took them in, put them in one place and just shot them all. So this is like, sometimes you have to do bad things. If the soldiers refused to do it, they would also be considered traitors. They'll also be shot. So Shudra, you have to sometimes serve a bad master. But sometimes there's good servants. Shall I tell you a funny story? It's not suitable for Ekadashi. You still want to hear it? This is a very nice story about Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was born in Bengal. In Bengal, what do they eat most of all? Rice. So when Prabhupada his family was in Calcutta, and he had a factory or shop in Allahabad, Johnson's Pharmacy. He had a pharmaceutical business. He also had a factory, he was manufacturing medicines. So when he was staying away from home, he had a servant who was cooking for him. But in UP, which is Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, what do they like? Do they like rice? Roti. They like roti. So Prabhupada was Bengali. So every time he had his lunch, the servant used to say, he was a very nice cook, Bhai Sahab, mera roti bahut achhe hai. My chapatis are very good. And Prabhupada would say, no, in Bengali, no, I don't take chapatis. I don't take chapatis. I don't take chapatis. I'm from Bengal. We take rice. Rice, dal, sabji, all that. And every day the servant would say, Bhai Sahab, mera roti bahut achhe hai. And Prabhupada would say, no, it's okay. This way it was going on for weeks, for months. And then one day, he thought, wow, every day I'm saying no to this poor, my servant. He's a good servant. And he's, okay, let me try one of your rotis today. So he gave him one hot roti, blowing up like a football. Wow, it was very nice. And from then on he took chapatis. Srila Prabhupada came. So he was a very good servant. So I don't know what this has got to do with the point, but you just see how a good servant can influence a master for a good thing. So you may be Shudra. All of us are Shudras, right? Most people are working in an office, we're working for the government, we're getting paid money. That means you're Shudra. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. If you have a job, it means you're Shudra. Except that if you have a shop, maybe you're Vaishya. If you're working in an office or you're digging a hole, you're getting paid by a master. That's called Shudra. And then you may have a bad master. Maybe meat eater, maybe drunkard, but you have to do his garden. Make his garden nice. Or, clean the floor, clean the toilets, because you're after the money. You're working for money. You don't care for your master. But devotional service means, that's not devotional service, that you love the money, not the master. But when we come to devotional service, it's different. Because we love, real love is not that we're after the money. We don't want to come to Hare Krishna because we're getting a stipend. Because actually this is a condition. It's a condition. It does happen. Prabhupada gave permission for people who have families and very poor. They were given an allowance to maintain. They have to have something to eat. So the ISKCON Prabhupada gave permission for that, for monetary exchange. But a Brahmachari doesn't usually have anything. Why should a Brahmachari take anything? Or a sannyasi take anything? Any salary or payment? But maybe Grihastha needs something to maintain family and so on. But we should live very simply, or else we become Shudras, we're not Brahmanas. Brahmana, he doesn't want to take anything, he wants to serve Krishna. Devotee wants to serve everything out of love, not out of payment. Even Prahlad Maharaj and Nrsingadev offered Prahlad anything, I'll give you anything. But Prahlad said, no, I'm not in this for anything in exchange. I just want to serve you. Okay. Any more questions, please?
One more question. Swami, you told about truthfulness, compassion, mercy, austerity.
Yeah.
Humble, humility.
Sorry?
Humility, humble. Humility.
So if you're following these four regulatory principles, then you're not humble. It won't make you humble. If you're compassionate and you're truthful, you're clean, and what's the other? Austere. Why you shouldn't be humble?
Because of the false ego, Maharaj. False ego. I am the doer. I am the enjoyer.
Yeah, but we're also chanting Hare Krishna. We're chanting Hare Krishna. We're not just following the four regs. We're not just following the four regs. In the beginning we chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada introduced the four regs. So the chanting cleanses the heart of our false ego, slowly, gradually. And then, as we're following the four regulative principles, then it makes it more effective. Just like if you have a fire and you're pouring water, you're trying to light a fire, you're pouring water, the fire will never burn. So these four rules to dry the wood so that you can light the fire of devotional service. So the more our heart becomes purified, the more we realize Krishna is God and we're His servants. So we become humble. So just to follow Prabhupada's order, we must become humble, right? Why should we follow Prabhupada? Why should we chant Hare Krishna if we're not humble? Actually, my friend, he told me to chant Hare Krishna. I didn't want to chant Hare Krishna. Honestly, I didn't want. I thought, no, I don't want to become a zombie. He's dancing in the street, with a shaved head and all that, I don't want to become one of them. But because he was my friend, and he actually said something which impressed me. He said, "You're not this body." He told me, "You're not this body." And I thought, wow, that's profound, that's amazing. I never heard that before. And it sunk into my mind. So I thought, oh, my friend, he told me something really nice. And now he wants me to chant Hare Krishna. Okay, I've done so many crazy things in my life. I won't like to mention them in the holy place. But my friend, he's wanting me to chant Hare Krishna. Okay. So he said, Hare Krishna. I said, Hare Krishna. Reluctantly. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And in this way he ran through the mantra with me. So I had to become humble, submissive to chant Hare Krishna. You have to become, just like on the street. And when we go and do Harinam on the street, we get people to clap. When we get the people to clap, they're submitting. They're hearing the beat, they're hearing the rhythm. They're submitting, they're moving their hands. And then we have a mantra card to show them. Hare Krishna. And many of them, they just laugh. They go like this. And then we say, no, it's okay. Hare Krishna. And they go, Hare Krishna. And they can't say properly at first, but then gradually they do. And they give up their ego out of friendliness, because we're very friendly to them. Not by force. We don't want to force them, but, it's like a party, Sankirtan party. At a party, you let your hair down. Okay, let's say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And they say it. So that they become humble like that. You have to become humble to somebody. As a principle of accepting a spiritual master, is that we have to humble to somebody. A devotee, any devotee, become humble to them, listen to them, serve them. That's what Hare Krishna is all about. Becoming humble, following the order of somebody, doing some service. Anyway, thank you. I hope that helps. 9 o'clock. Got 3 more hours to go for prasadam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. What's this? Is it mine? Oh, thank you. Where was